Step into the emerald charm of Ireland, where ancient legends meet vibrant modern life. This travel documentary invites you on a captivating journey through mystique, culture, and breathtaking landscapes unlike anywhere else. Irish women are warm and sociable. Irish women are often celebrated for their natural warmth and welcoming personalities, making them delightful companions in any social setting. Their friendliness shines through whether you meet them in a lively Dublin pub, a quaint countryside cafe, or during a music-filled festival. Striking up a conversation rarely feels forced. They're known for an easygoing charm that puts people at ease. This open nature makes first encounters far less intimidating, allowing genuine connections to form quickly and comfortably. Beyond their approachable demeanor, Irish women typically have a lively sense of humor that enriches every interaction. Banter and playful teasing are almost an art form in Ireland, and sharing a laugh is a key part of getting to know one another. Whether you're swapping travel stories or debating which county has the best traditional music, the ability to engage in lighthearted conversation is highly valued. This sense of fun and quick wit often helps keep relationships vibrant and engaging, even in their earliest stages. Their sociable spirit also reflects Ireland's strong community and family ties. Many Irish women appreciate partners who show respect for local traditions and who enjoy spending time with friends and loved ones. Weekend hikes along dramatic coastlines, evenings filled with live folk music, or simply gathering with family for a hearty meal can be the heart of a memorable date. These experiences reveal a deeper side of their sociability, one rooted in loyalty, shared moments, and a love of authentic connections. For anyone seeking a relationship built on warmth, laughter, and a true sense of togetherness, the welcoming nature of Irish women offers a uniquely rewarding experience. Emerald Isle Beauty. Ireland's breathtaking nickname, the Emerald Isle, comes to life the moment you set foot on its soil. From the misty valleys of Kerry to the windswept cliffs of Donegal, the island's rolling green hills seem to stretch endlessly in every direction. The vibrant shades of green are not just poetic exaggeration, but a real feast for the eyes, made possible by the country's temperate climate and frequent rainfall. The result is a land carpeted in rich meadows, ancient forests, and fields that look as though they've been painted in dozens of green tones. This lushness is more than a backdrop. It shapes Irish life and culture. Farmers have long thrived on this fertile land, raising sheep and cattle that dot the countryside like tiny moving clouds. Small villages blend seamlessly into the landscape, with stone walls and cottages nestled among pastures. Travelers often find themselves enchanted not only by the scenery, but also by the way it seems to hold a sense of peace and timelessness. The green hills carry stories of centuries past, from Celtic settlements to medieval battles, all etched into the land. Beyond its beauty, the Emerald Isle's landscapes are a source of inspiration. Writers, poets, and musicians have drawn from its rolling hills and soft rains for generations, turning Ireland into a place where nature and imagination intertwine. Whether seen from a train window, on a coastal hike, or from a castle tower, the green glow of Ireland leaves visitors with an image that lingers forever. Ireland, the land of castles. Ireland is often called the land of castles, and with good reason. There are more than 30,000 castles and ruins scattered across its rolling hills, rugged coastlines, and hidden valleys. From towering medieval fortresses to ivy-clad ruins, each castle carries with it centuries of stories, whispers of battles, romances, and royal intrigue. Walking through these ancient stone walls feels like stepping into another world, where knights defended their strongholds and lords ruled over vast lands. Some castles remain majestic and intact, like Bunratty Castle in County Clare or Ashford Castle, now transformed into a luxurious hotel fit for royalty. Others, like the haunting ruins of Dunluce Castle, perched dramatically on a cliff edge in Northern Ireland, seem frozen in time, blending history with the wild beauty of the landscape. These structures are not just relics of the past, but living reminders of Ireland's resilience and its central place in European medieval history. What makes Ireland's castles so captivating is their variety and accessibility. You can find a grand fortress guarding a river, a hidden tower house in the countryside, or a crumbling ruin discovered during a casual hike. Each has its own charm and story, from tales of haunted halls to legends of lost treasures. For visitors, exploring these castles is more than sightseeing. It's a chance to touch history and feel the magic that makes Ireland one of the most enchanting destinations in the world. A lake monster rival. Ireland has its very own lake monster legend, giving Scotland's famous Nessie a rival in mystery. Lough Ree, a vast lake along the River Shannon, has long been the site of strange sightings and eerie tales. Locals speak of a dark, shadowy creature gliding beneath the surface, sometimes surfacing just enough to spark curiosity and fear. The earliest recorded stories go back centuries, with fishermen claiming their boats were rocked by something massive in the water, larger than any fish native to the lake. What makes the Lough Ree monster so fascinating is the consistency of reports over the years. Travelers, anglers, and even priests have described encounters with a large, serpent-like figure breaking through the water before disappearing just as quickly. While skeptics dismiss these as tricks of light, waves, or exaggerations, believers argue that too many accounts exist to ignore. Some speculate it could be an undiscovered species, while others lean into the mystical, linking it to Ireland's deep tradition of folklore and otherworldly creatures. Whether real or imagined, the legend of the Lough Ree monster has become a part of Ireland's cultural tapestry. It adds an air of mystery to an already beautiful setting, drawing adventurers and dreamers alike to the lake's shores. For those who visit, the calm waters of Lough Ree hold not just natural beauty, but the thrilling possibility of spotting something extraordinary lurking beneath the surface. Ireland, a nation of storytellers. Ireland has long been known as a nation of storytellers, weaving words into art that resonates far beyond its shores. The country's literary tradition is legendary, giving the world some of its greatest writers, from James Joyce, whose Ulysses reshaped modern literature, to Oscar Wilde, whose wit and brilliance continue to enchant readers and audiences alike. Then there is W.B. Yeats, a poet who captured the spirit of Ireland's landscapes, myths, and struggles with lyrical intensity. Their works not only placed Ireland on the global literary map, but also shaped the way literature itself is understood and celebrated. What makes Ireland's storytelling tradition so powerful is its deep connection to history, myth, and oral culture. Long before novels and plays, the Irish passed stories from generation to generation through folklore, ballads, and legends of heroic warriors, mystical beings, and tragic love. This oral tradition nurtured a culture where words mattered, where stories could inspire, teach, and preserve identity. When Irish writers like Joyce or Yeats took up their pens, they carried that same spirit into a global context, turning local tales and national struggles into works of universal meaning. Even today, Ireland continues to inspire new generations of writers and poets, with Dublin recognized as a UNESCO City of Literature. Pubs echo with poetry readings, festivals celebrate storytelling, and libraries honor the voices of the past while encouraging fresh ones. In Ireland, storytelling is not just an art, it's a way of life, a legacy that endures through every poem, play, and tale. Cliffs of Wonder, the pride of Ireland. Rising 214 meters above the roaring Atlantic Ocean, the Cliffs of Moher are one of Ireland's most breathtaking wonders and a true symbol of the country's wild, untamed beauty. Stretching for about 14 kilometers along the rugged west coast in County Clare, these dramatic cliffs offer sweeping views that leave visitors speechless. On a clear day, you can see the Aran Islands scattered across the horizon, the 12 Benz Mountains of Connemara, and endless ocean waves crashing far below. Their sheer scale and raw power make them one of Europe's most unforgettable natural spectacles. But the Cliffs of Moher are more than just a view. They are alive with nature and legend. Thousands of seabirds make their home here, from puffins and guillemots to razorbills and kittiwakes, turning the cliffs into one of Ireland's most important bird colonies. The area is also steeped in folklore, with stories of lost cities beneath the waves and mythical creatures said to dwell in the ocean depths. Standing at O'Brien's Tower, a 19th-century stone lookout perched on the edge, it's easy to see why this place has inspired countless tales, songs, and even appearances in films like Harry Potter. Visiting the cliffs is a sensory experience. The salty spray of the sea, the sound of the wind howling past, and the dizzying drop at your feet. Whether you walk the cliff trails at sunrise or watch the sun sink into the Atlantic at dusk, the Cliffs of Moher remind you of nature's raw majesty and Ireland's enduring magic. Legend says St. Patrick banished snakes. The legend of St. Patrick banishing snakes from Ireland is one of the most enduring tales of the Emerald Isle. According to folklore, the saint stood upon a hilltop and, with the power of his staff, drove every snake into the sea, leaving the island forever free of the slithering creatures. The story has been passed down for centuries, often tied to St. Patrick's role in bringing Christianity to Ireland, where the snakes came to symbolize paganism and evil. It is a powerful image, one that has helped shape Ireland's spiritual and cultural identity. Yet, the fascinating truth is that snakes never existed in Ireland to begin with. After the last ice age, the land remained too cold and isolated for reptiles to naturally migrate there. Unlike mainland Europe or neighboring Britain, Ireland's geographical barriers prevented snakes from ever slithering onto its soil. The absence of snakes is not divine intervention, but a result of natural history and climate. However, the tale survives because it is less about literal snakes and more about the triumph of new beliefs over old traditions, embodying a symbolic cleansing of the land. Today, the snake-free reality of Ireland adds an extra layer of intrigue to the myth. Visitors are often amazed to learn that the rolling fields, forests, and bogs of the country hold not a single serpent. Instead, the story continues to live in songs, parades, and St. Patrick's Day celebrations, reminding us how myths and history weave together to create Ireland's enduring charm. Guinness flows strong in Ireland. Guinness is more than just a drink in Ireland. It's a symbol of heritage, tradition, and pride. Brewed first in 1759 at the St. James's Gate Brewery in Dublin, this dark, velvety stout quickly became one of Ireland's most iconic exports. Today, the sheer scale of its production is staggering. Around 10 million pints are brewed every single day, flowing into glasses in pubs across the globe. For many, sipping a pint of Guinness in Dublin isn't just about the taste. It's about experiencing a ritual deeply rooted in Irish culture. The Guinness brand has managed to create an identity that transcends borders. Its creamy head and rich flavor are instantly recognizable, but what makes it truly unique is the story behind it. The company's founder, Arthur Guinness, famously signed a 9,000-year lease on the brewery, a bold declaration of confidence that resonates even centuries later. Beyond the brew itself, Guinness has influenced art, music, and even advertising with its memorable campaigns and witty slogans. It's not just beer, it's a cultural ambassador for Ireland, representing warmth, conviviality, and community. While Guinness is enjoyed in nearly every corner of the world, Ireland remains its spiritual home. Visitors flock to the Guinness Storehouse in Dublin to learn the secrets of its brewing process and, of course, to pour the perfect pint. Whether raised in a quiet countryside pub or amid the lively energy of Temple Bar, a pint of Guinness connects people to Ireland's heart. It flows strong, carrying with it the stories, spirit, and soul of the nation. Ancient tombs older than pyramids. Long before Egypt's pyramids pierced the skies, Ireland's ancient builders had already left their mark in stone. Newgrange, a passage tomb in County Meath, dates back to around 3200 BC, making it older than both the Great Pyramid of Giza and Stonehenge. From the outside, it appears as a massive grassy mound, but hidden within is a stone passageway leading to a chamber aligned perfectly with the rising sun during the winter solstice. For a few magical minutes each December, sunlight floods the inner chamber, illuminating the carvings etched by Neolithic hands more than 5,000 years ago. What makes Newgrange truly extraordinary is the mystery it holds. Its builders, without metal tools or modern technology, managed to construct a monument so precise that its astronomical alignment still functions flawlessly today. The spirals and symbols carved into the stones suggest a culture rich with meaning, spirituality, and advanced knowledge of the cosmos. Historians and archaeologists continue to debate its exact purpose. Was it a burial site, a ceremonial temple, or a cosmic calendar? Whatever the answer, Newgrange reveals a sophisticated civilization that existed in Ireland long before written history. Today, this UNESCO World Heritage Site draws thousands of visitors each year, eager to walk the same path as Ireland's first architects of wonder. Standing inside the chamber as golden sunlight pierces the darkness, one can't help but feel a profound connection to the past. Newgrange isn't just an ancient tomb. It's a reminder that Ireland's history is deeper, older, and more mysterious than many realize. Ireland's mythical leprechauns and legends, tiny, mischievous, and always guarding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Leprechauns are perhaps Ireland's most famous mythical figures. Rooted in centuries-old folklore, these pint-sized shoemakers are said to spend their days mending shoes and their nights playing tricks on unsuspecting humans. Stories describe them as clever and crafty, able to vanish in an instant if caught. Yet, according to legend, anyone who manages to capture a leprechaun can demand 3 wishes or learn the secret location of his hidden treasure. Beyond the playful tales, leprechauns reflect Ireland's rich tradition of storytelling, where myths blur seamlessly with daily life. They belong to the world of the Aos Sea, mystical beings in Irish mythology who live just beyond the human realm. Folk tales of leprechauns have been passed down orally through generations, keeping alive a magical vision of Ireland where the supernatural is never too far away. These stories often carry lessons too, reminding listeners about greed, trickery, and the dangers of chasing easy riches. Today, leprechauns have become beloved cultural icons, especially during St. Patrick's Day celebrations, when green hats, beards, and pots of gold flood parades worldwide. But for Ireland, they remain more than just cheerful symbols for tourists. They represent a living link to the country's folklore, where magic and mystery are celebrated as part of national identity. To speak of leprechauns is to honor Ireland's enduring spirit of imagination, where legends still dance in the mists of the Emerald Isle. Trinity's priceless book. Housed within the Grand Library of Trinity College Dublin, the Book of Kells is often described as Ireland's greatest national treasure. Created around 800 AD by Celtic monks, this illuminated manuscript contains the four Gospels of the New Testament, written in Latin. What makes it extraordinary is not just its age, but the breathtaking artistry within. Each page is adorned with intricate patterns, vivid colors, and symbolic illustrations that seem to bring the scriptures alive. The level of detail is so fine that even under magnification, the designs appear flawless. Legends surround its creation, with many believing it was begun on the Scottish island of Iona before being brought to Ireland for safekeeping after Viking raids. Each page tells a story beyond the text itself, weaving together Christian themes and Celtic art in a dazzling fusion. The Chi-Rho page, one of its most famous, transforms the simple letters representing Christ into a full tapestry of angels, animals, and spirals. For scholars and visitors alike, the manuscript is a window into Ireland's golden age of art and spirituality. Today, the Book of Kells is displayed under carefully controlled conditions at Trinity College, drawing visitors from all over the world who line up to see its glowing pages. Beyond its artistic brilliance, it represents endurance, surviving wars, raids, and centuries of turmoil to remain intact. To stand before it is to step back more than a millennium, marveling at the genius and devotion of the monks who created this priceless masterpiece. Europe's friendliest people. Ireland has long been celebrated not just for its landscapes, castles, and legends, but for something even more enduring: the warmth of its people. Time and again, global surveys place Ireland among the friendliest nations in Europe, and visitors quickly discover why. Whether it's a cheerful hello from a stranger on a quiet country lane or a friendly conversation with a shopkeeper, the Irish have a way of making everyone feel at home. Hospitality is deeply ingrained in the culture, a tradition that stretches back centuries when sharing a meal or drink was seen as a sacred duty to guests. That friendliness is most famously experienced in the pubs, where laughter flows as easily as the Guinness. Step into a cozy pub in Dublin, Galway, or Cork, and you'll likely be welcomed into a circle of locals eager to share stories, jokes, or even a spontaneous song. It's not unusual for strangers to strike up long conversations, leaving as friends by the time the night ends. This sense of openness creates an atmosphere that is both lively and comforting, making Ireland a place where visitors rarely feel like outsiders. Beyond casual encounters, the kindness of the Irish shines in everyday life. Travelers often recall moments when locals went out of their way to offer directions, share hidden gems to explore, or even provide a lift down a winding country road. This generosity, combined with humor and warmth, makes Ireland more than a destination. It becomes a connection, a memory, and for many, a second home. Ireland and Game of Thrones. Northern Ireland has become a pilgrimage site for fantasy fans thanks to its starring role in Game of Thrones. The rugged landscapes, dramatic coastlines, and ancient castles provided the perfect backdrop for Westeros, making the fictional world feel strikingly real. From Winterfell's courtyards to the haunted forests north of the Wall, countless scenes were brought to life in locations that remain open for visitors today. Fans can walk in the footsteps of Jon Snow, Arya Stark, and Daenerys, exploring a land where fiction and reality seamlessly collide. Among the most iconic filming spots is the Dark Hedges, a haunting avenue of beech trees that doubled as the King's Road. Meanwhile, Ballantoy Harbor transformed into the rugged Iron Islands, where Theon Greyjoy's story unfolded. Cushendun Caves brought Melisandre's shadowy magic to life, while Castle Ward in County Down served as the original setting for Winterfell. Each location carries a sense of both history and fantasy, reminding visitors that Northern Ireland itself is as much a character in the series as any of its actors. The impact of the show has been immense, turning Northern Ireland into a global travel hotspot. Local tours, complete with costumes and swords, allow fans to immerse themselves in the world of Westeros. Beyond the television magic, travelers discover a land rich with Celtic myths, medieval ruins, and warm hospitality. Game of Thrones may have ended, but its legacy continues to thrive here, where every path, cliff, and castle still whispers a story from the Seven Kingdoms. Blarney Stone Magic. High atop Blarney Castle near Cork lies one of Ireland's most curious treasures, the Blarney Stone. For centuries, visitors from around the globe have climbed the winding steps of the medieval stronghold, just to kiss this legendary slab of limestone. Tradition claims that pressing your lips to the stone grants you the gift of the gab, or the ability to speak with charm and eloquence. It's a ritual that blends myth, history, and just a bit of daring, as the stone is set into the castle wall, requiring visitors to lean backward while holding onto iron rails to reach it. The origins of the Blarney Stone's power are wrapped in legend. Some tales say it was a magical stone given to Cormac McCarthy, the castle's builder, by the goddess Cleodna. Others insist it was brought back from the Crusades, or even linked to Scotland's Stone of Destiny, upon which ancient kings were crowned. Whatever its true story, the stone became synonymous with cleverness and persuasive speech, qualities that earned the word Blarney its modern meaning of smooth, flattering talk. Today, the Blarney Stone attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors each year, eager to test the myth for themselves. But the castle offers more than just the stone. Its sprawling gardens, hidden rock formations, and mystical groves add to the sense of enchantment. Whether or not the stone truly bestows eloquence, it certainly leaves visitors with a memory of magic and a story worth retelling, spoken with just a little extra flair. Ireland, Halloween's true birthplace. Long before pumpkins, costumes, and candy defined Halloween, the festival began in Ireland over 2,000 years ago as the Celtic celebration of Samhain. Marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, Samhain was a time when the boundary between the living and the spirit world was believed to blur. The Celts lit massive bonfires, wore disguises to ward off wandering spirits, and offered food to appease supernatural beings. It was a night of mystery, fear, and ritual, laying the foundation for what would eventually evolve into modern Halloween. As Christianity spread, the old festival was blended with new traditions. The Church established All Saints' Day on November 1st, with All Hallows' Eve, the night before, absorbing much of Samhain's customs. Over centuries, Irish practices like carving faces into turnips, lighting candles inside them, and sharing ghostly tales traveled across the Atlantic with Irish immigrants. In America, turnips gave way to pumpkins, trick-or-treating emerged, and Halloween became the family-friendly holiday we know today, though its roots remain distinctly Irish. Modern Ireland still honors this ancient heritage, blending old-world mystery with new-world fun. Cities like Derry host massive Halloween festivals with parades, costumes, and fireworks. while echoes of Samhain linger in bonfires and storytelling traditions. What began as a spiritual ritual for survival has become a global celebration of imagination and playfulness. So when children knock on doors dressed as witches and ghosts, they're unknowingly carrying forward a tradition that started in Ireland's misty fields and sacred firelight. Thanks for joining this journey through Ireland's magic and mystery. If you loved exploring with us, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next travel adventure.